members of Congress and their spouses be banned from trading individual stocks while serving in Congress?
No, I don't know to the second one. Because this is a free market and people, we're a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
That was Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, just a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, being asked about individual stock ownership and trading by members of Congress that have secret information and can and have been shown to effectively benefit from that information. We're concerned about it. We think that it's corrupt, and she was incredibly dismissive and condescending and tone deaf in her response. Well, things have moved quickly since then, and she might be moving. But I want to get into why potentially. There's a few different reasons. We're going to dissect it. But I just happened to notice that it was only yesterday that former President Donald Trump was asked about Nancy Pelosi and stock ownership, and he had this to say: "She has inside information. It's not right. It's not appropriate. It shouldn't be. She doesn't want to discuss that. She wants to discuss other things that shouldn't be discussed. Some of the things that they're proposing now, like impeaching someone for absolutely no reason for a perfect phone call. You look at that. You look at impeachment, both of them, but you get impeached for a phone call that was like perfecto. So many different things. I happen to watch her and see her and dealt with her a lot, and I think she's clever in one way and stone cold crazy. She should not be allowed to do that with the stocks. She should not be allowed to do that. It's not fair to the rest of the country." One of the most deranged quotes I've ever read in my life. He said perfecto. That's a literal quote. And he's talking about impeachment. It's 2022. It's been a year, more than a year since he's been impeached. But Brett, he does criticize the practice of politicians benefiting from their position, which he has always been against.
Listen, you always have to understand. First of all, I love the perfecto. Pierre Perfecto over here. It's so stupid. Like, that is insane. And he calls her stone cold crazy, basically saying she's really good at certain things. That's a carve out for when Nancy Pelosi beats him at something. It's a carve out. I said she's good at some stuff only when I obviously lose. And then she's insane and terrible at other things. But actually, Donald Trump for a very long time, and a lot of Donald Trump's cronies within his apparatus, identified that this is a wildly popular thing to ban individual stock trades among Republican or among politicians. It's easy for Trump to say, if he was sophisticated enough in his financial dealings to understand and benefit from this kind of insider information, I'm sure he would do it too. But in the meantime, he's rich in other ways, so to speak. And so he doesn't need anything from that personally. And as a result, he is now free to be objective on the situation and also sniff out, as he's always been good at, what a kind of vaguely populist complainer would say. And I feel like I'm a vaguely populist complainer. A lot of people are vaguely populist complainers, because it's like, I don't have time to look through all this. But when I see that, like, all these commercials during the NFL games about managing my stock portfolio that are like wildly geared to the rich people watching there, I have no idea. But then I know that you can be in charge of the government. You can be in charge of the government and do government things that will change the fortunes of major Fortune 500 companies. And then you can go make those deals and benefit from it. That is something I will vaguely populously complain about.
That's true. And look, and to that end, the only thing that I will partially disagree with you on is, you're saying he can say this not just because it's popular, which is I think why he's saying it. It's an easy, free way to seem anti-corruption, but also because he would not actually push for it if he were in charge again, and he would never abide by any of these sorts of restrictions himself. So I think it's also 100% fake. Like, he doesn't mean anything that he says, I don't think. But he's right, accidentally and fakely. He is right and she is wrong. And there's been a lot of pressure coming from her own, like AOC has been talking about this for a couple of years now. Ossoff came out with his bill recently. I think it might have been, was it Mark Meadows a couple weeks ago that said he'd try to get some Republicans on board. And now you have Trump criticizing it. And so here is what we've got from Nancy Pelosi as of today. She was asked about this by Insider and said, I've said to the House Administration Committee, review all the bills that are coming in and see which ones, where the support is in our caucus. If members want to do that, I'm okay with that. So that is hardly enthusiastic. She seems to be indicating, whether we think we can trust her or not, that were they to push for it, she wouldn't unilaterally kill it. And I doubt it would ever pass. There's way too many corrupt politicians, but she seems to be potentially willing to accept that change.
No,
and why shouldn't she? She already has $100 million. She's as rich as she ever needs to be. She will not spend that money in 10 lifetimes.
Dude, you know that isn't the motivator. The final destination of money isn't the motivator. It's a personality that creates a machine. They know they're that machine. She knows that she's that machine who needs to have power and make money. And the machine needs to always have a bank account that's going up. That's her identity. And if it isn't doing that, even if it levels out, she feels like she's a broken machine. And whether that's true for Nancy Pelosi specifically or all these jagoffs in Congress, it's still the game and the song remains the same for me. I think I was trying to think of like how we should formulate how these people get paid. My first initiative was like the America Fund. Have an America Fund that's representative, that is a portfolio that is representative of if things are going well. And you're invested only in that. Now I know how that'll be turned into corruption. So you could be like, what gets into the America Fund? I'm sure they're gonna decide themselves how that happens. So I think we put them on a little, they're always selling us on crap, that they're doing a good job, that we should hire them again. They're salesmen. So let's put them on a salesman payment structure. You get a low base salary and the rest is all bonus.
All
based on your freaking performance. So dazzle me with making my life better and everybody else's life better, because that's why I hired you. That's a sales pitch you gave. So let's put you on a nice little bonus structure and we'll put your salary on layaway.
Yeah, and obviously it would be complicated and difficult, but effectively the incentives are set up right now that they will get richer the more they stop anything from happening, because virtually anything they could pass might benefit tons of people, improve their quality of life, but would be a threat to the stability and dominant economic position that they and their backers currently hold. Anyway, we'll see. I don't expect a lot of progress on this, but there's been a lot of first of all, great reporting from Insider on non-compliance with even the mediocre kitten stock act that we've got right now, and good advocates for actually doing something in this one area of corruption. Got to keep pushing. Maybe someday we can get it. Still a long way, but that's your update.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.